Hi, my name is Ribeiro and let's start with Saga Trilogy Deluxe Pack. You'll get all three games a tiny bit cheaper than you would have to spend if you decided to buy them separately. Also, you'll get soundtracks of all three games and some digital goodies like the world map. Anyway, this is a role-playing Viking game where your strategic choices directly affect your personal journey. Battles in the game are staged like in the Heroes of Might and Magic games, but there is no world you can explore. Everything feels more like a comic or a book, so apart from tactical turn-based combats, you'll have to read a lot. The game is not for everyone, but if you can read your favorite beer label, you can probably read this game as well. Cry Primal. Welcome to the Stone Age, a time for extreme danger and limitless adventure, when giant mammoths and saber-toothed tigers ruled the earth and humanity was at the bottom of the food chain. Well, not the very bottom, raccoons were still below us, but a fat, juicy human would also be more preferred meal for a saber-toothed tiger, so I don't know if this lower position of raccoons really help us here. As the last survivor of your hunting group, you will learn to craft a deadly arsenal of, sticks and stones to fend off fierce beasts and outsmart enemy tribes to conquer the land and become the apex predator. That won't be easy, except if you play on easy, then it will be easy. GTFO. This is a 4-player cooperative game. Good news for you, since you are obviously short of friends, the vacuum of your life can be filled with bots here. Playing with them can be irritating at first, but when you learn their mechanics, it's actually quite fun.
Said every lonely person ever.
Oh, shut up. Of course, game developers still recommend playing with real people since the game requires a level of communication and tactical combat, and a good strategy is necessary to win the game. Many of the creatures of GTFO are suspended in state of hibernation, so light, noise and vibrations can easily wake these sleepers up. Better leave your multi-purpose, noisy, vibrating flashlight at home, so if one of the creatures knows you are there, they all know. Be cautious when deciding on shooting. This game will truly test your patience, since it is a hardcore shooter and it doesn't have a difficulty setting. Although despite the fact that the graphics and atmosphere are amazing, GTFO can become quite repetitive rather quickly. First-person puzzle bundle. This is definitely one of the best deals for puzzle lovers, for various brainiacs and in general people smarter than me. So for buying these 5 discounted puzzle games together, you will get an additional 25% discount, which basically means that you will get one of these games for free. Or to be honest, almost 2 of the cheapest ones for free, which somehow sounds like an even better deal. The Witness and the Talos Principle will squeeze all the brain power you have. Manifold Garden, with its overwhelmingly positive reviews, will boggle your mind. Superhot will pretend that it's a shooter game, but every encounter is staged, and you will have to find the right way to solve the staying alive puzzle. And about Superliminal, people on Steam say that this is a brain-melting experience. Anyway, all 5 games are great. This bundle doesn't try to hide some shitty games inside. A great deal for every puzzle fan. Mafia Definitive Edition. Remastered and re-released in 2020, the game is a proud owner of a very positive reviews on Steam. He'll take on the role of a mafioso in 1930s city of Lost Haven. It's a fictional place, but it's inspired by the city of Chicago. The town got hit hard by the Great Depression, and the advent of Prohibition in America means lucrative business opportunities for various mobsters. And let's be fair, for some shady old ladies as well who are brewing their moonshines deep in the cellars. By the way, did you know that you have to pour out the first cups of moonshine you make because it's poison? If you drink it, you will die or at least go blind. I've heard that from some master brewer a long time ago, but I can't remember the details. Anyway, as I've said many times before, Prohibition in my eyes is a crime against humanity, so those gangsters are just folk struggling to survive in this authoritarian environment. BioShock, the collection. This great deal is not appearing in the search bar. You can only find it when you actually click on any BioShock game and then scroll down a little. This is a well-known shooter franchise loaded with weapons and interesting tactics. You'll have a complete arsenal at your disposal, from simple revolvers to grenade launchers and chemical throwers. This awesome pack contains all 3 BioShock games and 5 DLCs just for €12 or similar amount of USD. Basically all 3 games with DLCs combined are now cheaper than any one game separately. First and second BioShock games were set underwater, but in the third one you go high in the sky to the city among the clouds named Columbia. The year is 1912 and you have to rescue a mysterious girl or die trying. Just Cause 3. The Mediterranean Republic of Medici is suffering under the control of a dictator with a huge appetite for power. So this is some kind of Mediterranean Belarus, and you have to show them what freedom looks like. And here it looks like death and explosions of dictator's troops and allies. Here you will be given complete vertical freedom. Skydive, base jump and freedive in an open world the size of 1,000 square kilometers, so you can create chaos in all of this land and have a lot of fun. People on Steam are saying that the game is very fun and has almost zero boring moments. The grappling hook and the wingsuit will help you to fly around and cause havoc, and this experience will keep you entertained for hours. To be exact, about 18 hours of your boring life will be made better by this game. Alien Isolation Collection. Recently I played Amnesia the Bunker, which copied the idea of Alien Isolation Monster, and now I have an urge to play Isolation again, which honestly is way bigger and better game than Amnesia the Bunker. Here you are all alone in a giant space station and a sentient monster is hunting you. You have no guns, you are the prey. Sometimes it can take an hour without an encounter, sometimes you can feel it creeping upon you in the vents, sometimes you just die. And this bundle is an amazing deal. You will get the base game and 7 DLCs for $10 or euros. The game is absolutely 10 cold beers out of 10 and worth buying even without a discount. Green Hell. Game feels like Wrath, The Forest and Far Cry Primal had a baby, and very positive reviews are saying to us that this baby is not ugly and you shouldn't give up it for adoption. This time. Here you are left alone in a jungle without any food or equipment, trying to survive and find your way out. Clinging to life, you have to go on a journey of durability, as the effects of solitude weigh heavy not only on your body but also on the mind. How long can you survive against the dangers of the unknown? Knowing you, probably not very long. You know, me as well, when I watch survival shows, especially the one called Alone, I'm always thinking that I would never give up and I would win the money no matter what, not like these other people. But the truth is, I would probably slip on some snail and die on the 3rd day. So here, constantly threatened by the jungle, you'll fight with both wild animals and tropical illnesses. You will also have to face the traps set by your own mind and fears that crawl out of the darkness of the endless jungle. Enjoy the game alone or with friends. State of Decay Juggernaut Edition. This is an open-world survival game set just after the zombie apocalypse. Your small community of survivors seeks to rebuild a corner of civilization, and you get to make all the decisions about how that happens. So, knowing you, humanity is doomed, and it's all your fault. For those who are concerned, this is a single-player game with an option to play co-op. So, this is not some MMO or online shooter battle royale with zombies, no, this is a serious game with base building, RPG mechanics, and permanent death. Yeah, that doesn't sound cool, but believe me, it is very good for immersion. You won't be jogging around with your PP out, swinging left and right. You be careful and take the game seriously instead. You will decide who to recruit to your team, where to settle your community, how to fortify and upgrade your base. You will select which survivor to bring along on a scavenging run for the ammo or ingredients for delicious potato salad, and who you use to fight off the zombies attacking your base. People on Steam are saying that this game has probably the closest feeling to The Walking Dead show, and a very positive review score is a proof of that. Riftbreaker. Here you are, the Riftbreaker, an elite scientist commando inside a powerful mecha suit.
Ooh la la!
You have entered a one-way portal to a distant planet at the far reaches of the Milky Way. You have a purpose of building up a base that will allow travels back to Earth and continue colonization. So you are tasked to construct a two-way rift back to Earth, because living on a planet without cold, refreshing beer or potato salad is painful, and that shouldn't even be a legal thing. Although you encounter a bit of a bigger problem than the absence of beer, which is monsters, thousands of them. The game itself is a hybrid between StarCraft, Diablo and Satisfactory, a really great and entertaining game. The Quarry. I would say that this is a usual slasher movie, except this time it's a game, where all the stupid decisions of the protagonist are made by you. So here you'll be in charge of a band of teenagers who decided to go to a distant quarry and celebrate, you know, something. And things quickly took a turn for the worse. Hunted by blood-drenched locals and something far more sinister, your plans unravel into an unpredictable night of horror. Friendly banter and flirtations give way to life or death decisions, as relationships build or break under the strain of of unimaginable choices, made by you by the way. You will play as each of 9 characters in a thrilling cinematic tale, where every decision shapes your unique story from a tangled web of possibilities. Any character can be the star of the show or die before daylight comes, and it's all your fault. Honestly, this game is better played in the company of friends, or you know, with your loving mother-in-law, so you could laugh and be scared together. People on Steam are praising the game's replayability but bashing its short story. Only 10 hours of fun for this price is a bit expensive even on a sale. The Pathless. This is a perfect game for fans of Journey and Abzu, although with a tiny bit of more action implemented. Here you will become the Hunter, a master archer who travels to a mystical island to dispel a curse of darkness that grips the world. Soar through the air and forge a connection with your eagle companion. Perform fluid acrobatics and execute awesome trick shots with a unique archery system that allows effortless shooting while moving at high speeds. The evil won't rest until the world is destroyed, so what are you waiting for? And now I know that you are concerned about the most important thing. Can you pet the bird? And yes, you can, so it's automatically a good game. Also, it has very positive review score on Steam. The Hand of Merlin. This is a turn-based roguelite RPG in which a famous legend about King Arthur clashes with a sci-fi horror. You'll explore a medieval setting on the brink of apocalypse, trade with merchants, improve your heroes and unearth ancient relics. And by doing that, search for the lost fragments of your soul scattered across the multiverse and save as many worlds as you can. As you jump from one dimension to the next, history is reshaped and it gives real deepness to this game. People on Steam are saying that the game is hard and pushing, but in a good way. You actually learn a lot from your failures here, not like in real life. Although people also say that the game fancies to crash, especially during the combat, and that may be infuriating. Silt. This is an atmospheric puzzle adventure and exploration game with hints of horror made by ignoring all the existing colors. I love it, colors are for the weak. Here, alone in underwater abyss, you are a diver searching the deep to uncover long-forgotten mysteries. You are able to possess the creatures around you to solve puzzles and travel further into the darkness. I'll be honest, Silt looks absolutely beautiful and these hand-drawn backgrounds are, you know, I can agree with what developers are saying about their game.
It's an art brought to life.
Yeah, that's for sure. People on Steam are saying that this is a simplistic and fun puzzle game with the vibes of Limbo. Starship Troopers Terran Command. This game has a model similar to the Arbillions where you defend from the hordes of enemies and try to keep your base alive. Also, here you can literally relive the best moments of the Starship Troopers movie by defending your base from hordes of ladybugs. Anyway, here you'll encounter dozens of unique insect types, each with their own special abilities and skills. Also, the map has terrain elevation, true line of sight and true line of fire, providing deep tactical gameplay, meaning that units that stand behind other units can't shoot unless they stand on a higher ground. Sadly, you can't play as an alien insect. It's not off the table completely, developers say, but now you can only play as a military human society. That's it. If you are wondering if you can build a base here, yes you can, but it's not the main focus of the game, I would say. Despite that, it has a very positive review score on Steam, and many commentators are stating that if you like Command & Conquer or StarCraft, you must try Starship Troopers as well, so do not ignore it. SpellForce Conquest of Eo. The title itself is a spin-off from the famous RTS RPG SpellForce games, and this time it's a turn-based strategy RPG with 4X elements similar to Heroes of Might and Magic. You know, when you have a rich lore, you can start experimenting what we will get next. SpellForce racing game, first-person shooter? You know, I would play these. Also yes, in Conquest of Eo you will have your town, or as they call it here, a tower, where you can research various skills and abilities and other goodies. You have a huge map to explore and turn-based battles with various monsters. The hero's formula is here and it's working very nicely. You will have to choose one out of 3 unique classes, or you can create your own custom mage and send armies on countless quests. Or, you know, conquests, pun intended. Wingspan. Let me start with the fact that this game has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam. Yeah, so you won't skip thinking that this is some lame card game. Well, it is a card game, but as far from lame as you are, you know, from lame. Yeah, you are cool, man, never doubt that. now subscribe. So here you are, a bird enthusiast, researcher, bird watcher, ornithologist and collector seeking to discover and attract the best birds to your network of wildlife preserves. Well, if you want some wisdom, I can reveal which bird is the best. It's the one who tastes the best. Anyway, here each bird extends a chain of powerful combinations in one of your habitats, and each habitat focuses on a key aspect of the growth of your preserves and so on. The game is meant to be played from 1 to 5 people, so if you have some nerdy friends, tell them something nice and convince them to play this game together. If not, there is always a mother-in-law who can help. If not yours, then somebody else's. World is filled with them. Death's Door. Here you control a crow, some kind of bird Grim Reaper. Suddenly your assigned soul is stolen, and you must track down a desperate thief to a realm untouched by death, where creatures grow far past their expiry date and overflow with greed and power. Well, this place sounds like a parliament of every country. You will have a vast array of melee weapons, various arrows and powerful magic to overcome a fantastic bunch of beasts and demigods. The land is full of twisted inhabitants and countless secrets, just like Parliament. Anyway, here you'll experience a somber yet darkly comedic tale, uncovering the secrets beyond the flow of souls, the role of the crows, and the origin of the potato salad man himself. Well, probably not the latter, I'm just kidding.
Or am I?
Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. This is an adventure with unique gameplay that blends investigation, action and exploration. It will test the limits of your nerves and intelligence. Yeah, this game is not for the faint of heart. The puzzles can be devilishly difficult, and the plot is full of twists and turns that will keep you guessing until the very end. You'll have to track down evil in the darkest corners of London while playing as the great detective and untangle a web of intrigue leading to the final stunning revelation about the evil that lurks in the city. Is it real evil, or is it just Scooby-Doo level evil? I don't know. Well, I do, but this is not a channel of spoilers. This is a channel of games and potato salad, approved by your sister. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep in mind that you can find about 20 more Steam Summer Sale videos in my channel. Check them out, you will definitely find something for yourself. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!